So let's look at check-ins in a little bit more depth, because check-ins are super important, because the feedback that you give to me is going to dictate how good the feedback that you get back from me is. So first of all, let's look at when you can check in. Make sure you check in on the designated days. So I'm going to put a little note underneath here which days I do check-ins. At the moment it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. I don't do check-ins on a weekend, and I don't do check-ins on a Wednesday. Wednesday is a day for me to focus on things like these videos. But I'll update that under here. Make sure that when you do check in, you check in prior to 10 a.m. That means that I can manage my workload for the day, and that if I'm done on check-ins by midday or something, I can get on with other stuff, other business stuff that's going to benefit you. So please check in prior to 10 a.m. Please don't check in on the days that I don't do check-ins, because I don't like ignoring check-ins, and I do get a notification that's come in, and I don't like to deliver information late. So if you check in on a Friday night and I don't do the check-in till Monday morning, that data is out of date and it's useless to us. Okay, so frequency wise, on a cutting phase you need to be checking in every week. On a building phase it could be 7 to 9 days. If you're making the correct kind of progress, it's not such an urgency, but certainly if something's going to miss, make sure you get those check-ins in every 7 days. I know it takes time, but it's worth it. It keeps you accountable, and it means that I can get the right information to you. So, like I said, make sure you focus on quality feedback to me. If you don't give me the correct information that I need to provide you with, then you're not going to get the right information back. Think, does Charlie know everything he needs to know in order to give me the right data? Okay? So take pride in your check-ins and make sure that you give them due care and attention, okay? Make sure you focus on data. That's what I need, right? Don't use wishy-washy phrases like, I struggled with food this week. What does that mean? Does that mean that you did eat the food, you didn't eat the food, you didn't enjoy it, but you ate it anyway? That doesn't mean anything. You can tell me moods and stuff like that, but first and foremost, I need data. So whether you hit the food, if you didn't hit the food, what happened? Whether you hit the training, if you didn't hit the food, the training, what happened? Same with steps, that sort of thing. So the next thing to make sure is that you tell me the truth. This is like a doctor-patient relationship, and anything you say to me is confidential. If there's things I need to know that's going on in your life, and it's going to affect whether you can hit the plan, let me know. You know, it's not making excuses and it's not too personal. Just let me know. Don't feel free to go into too much detail, but if things are going on, then feel free to tell me. Way to collect your data. I would suggest having a notepad in your phone that you keep open, and then on a daily basis you look on that notepad and you fill in any meals you've missed, anything extra you've eaten, whether you've hit your steps, and what your sleep was like the night before and how that training went. Keep a daily diary, like a journal, and then at the end of the week when you come to do your check-in, you just copy and paste that information across and then add a bit to it. Okay, mindset. Don't overthink these check-ins. When you take your measurements and when you put the data in the check-in, let me analyse it. Don't get too caught up on looking at whether your weight's changed, your waist has changed, your details have changed, and you analyse it. Let me do that. There might be all sorts of things that's going on that's going to impact what the data is showing. It might be for ladies, it might be the time of the month, for guys and stuff, and girls, it might be you trained legs yesterday. When you trained legs yesterday, the likelihood is that you're going to be carrying more water weight. There's all sorts of things going on. If you're logging your water and your water's changed, that could change things if you've had a cheat meal recently. So don't you try and analyse the results, because it can play with your head. You can check in a negative mindset, and I spend the first 5 minutes of the check-in trying to get your mindset back in place. So do everything in a neutral point of view, from a mindset point of view. Give me the data, give me your mood, but don't analyse the check-in yourself. That's my job. You know, I might not even be trying to bulk you, and if you think that weight should be going on quickly and it's going on slowly, that it does go on slowly. So let me feed back to you how you're doing. Don't you try and analyse it. Okay, what to expect from me? I normally do check-ins on the same day, as long as you get it in on time, but it can be up to 1 working day. I look at the snippet that I get through that tells me a little bit of data, like whether weight's gone up and down, whether the weight's gone up and down, that kind of thing, and then I prioritise things. But obviously everybody gets priority, everybody's going to get seen to, and I try to do it on the same day, maximum 1 working day. Same with messages. When you get your reply back from me, and your plan for the week, don't feel the need to reply back to me and say what I've said. A lot of people get into the habit of repeating things back to me. It's, okay, I need to do this, this and this. Well, the problem there is if you've said this, this, and this, but there's some other stuff in there, I'm like, well, why didn't they mention that? So just read it a number of times, make sure it's clear in your head what your plan is for the week. And if you're unclear on a certain aspect on it, because I've not written it clearly, then say, just to clarify on this point, can you explain that again? Rather than saying, okay, this, and this. It's a habit a lot of people are in, but it makes things more confusing for both of us. Feel free to read it a few times and then reply if something's not unsure. Communication within check-ins. In the early days, you're going to have quite a few questions through the week, and you're going to want to fire those over to me because you need to know the answer in order to continue that week. That's fine. As time progresses, the questions are going to be less urgent. So keep in mind your questions and put them in that notepad so that when you do your check-in, you can put your questions in there. That way, when I answer the questions, I'm fully submerged in your plan. I know exactly what your goals are, where you've come from, what's going on in your plan, and I'm fully immersed in it, and I can answer those really, really effectively. Also, what it means is that we've not got a constant stream of questions and answers, because that question and answer might lead to a change in the plan. And if we're changing things midweek, it's going to throw everything out. So save your questions in for the check-in once you understand things and they become less urgent. So be organised in your check-ins, make sure all that data is correct, be a perfectionist with it, think to yourself before you click submit, does this represent my week to Charlie? Has he got all the information he needs in order to give me the plan for the next week? If that's the case, then we're going to have a really successful coaching relationship. Thanks.